What's up, Tricology family? Welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. We are like 1 week away from St. Patty's Day, so this will be that time to eat some Lucky Charms and get drunk on that weekend. So, like, even though it's not going to be on the weekend, so just try to stay safe out there because we still in the pandemic situation. We don't need that many crowd on St. Patty's Day. If you want to get drunk and eat some Lucky Charms, invite some friends over. That would be the most easiest way to do. But moving on from that, but let me introduce you to my lovely co-host Ty.
Aw,
Welcome back to the show.
thank you. I'm always here for you. Every 2 weeks, guys. But I'm always here doing the most, and catching up on a couple of little reviews, which I'm really excited to talk about with you.
All right, all right. But before we get started, I think we have a special guest on this episode today. Would you mind having the pleasure of introducing our special guest for today?
Of course, she's a former student. I'm excited that she went to school with us, and a female filmmaker. Not only that, an ASMR enthusiast, and that's Amy Baum.
Hi. Hello, people. So,
All right, all right. So I'm glad you mentioned about the female filmmaker. So we are still in the month of Women's History Month. And guys, you haven't catched my other podcast show, Respect the Combat podcast, as we talk about the women's in combat sports and everything they accomplished that they've done. But now we're going to talk about women in the entertainment and media industry, whether it's in film, TV, or any other media career that they might do. So let me explain about film. So back in the day, in the earlier cinema, it used to be a man's world. You know what I mean? So fast forwarding from that to now, it's more of a diversity thing. You know what I'm saying? We used to have like different cultures coming in to make a lot of new exciting things. Like even though there'd be a lot of reboots and sequels, all that stuff, nothing new original stuff happens. But Netflix is doing their thing, but we're not gonna go forward to that. But like I said about women's history, you see a lot of women filmmakers kind of step up their games. Like you see them be in the director's chair or being cinematographer or director of photography, wherever you want to call it. So it's a lot of people like stepping in the game. Like I said, we still in the diversity era as it
Mm-hmm.
is. So my first question to you guys, whoever can answer first, and then the afterwards can answer afterwards. So how is it that it comes in terms of going into this to this field, into this career choice? Like, was this your first choice? Like, this is something that was it something that you guys wanted to do, or like how did it all started for you guys? So whoever can answer first, and then afterwards the other person can answer.
Amy, you'd like to go ahead as our guest? That'd be cool.
okay, sure. I think, I think most of us probably were already pretty creative spirits, or at least had a story that we wanted to tell. I was fortunate enough to get my first hand-me-down camera when I was 13. My dad had to get a camera for his business, and then when he didn't need it anymore, I got to keep it. So I learned at 13 years old that I loved filmmaking and I loved the opportunity to make people laugh. So I started making little comedies with it, was my initial thing. And then for years, I kind of fell off of that, like going through school, going through different things, like growing up. And then when it was time to learn a new trade again, when I was older, I went back to my roots of how much I loved that filmmaking back then. And I realized that because I'm very multifaceted and I love art and I love so many different things, that going back to school for video production would allow me to still do all of these different things. Because I could do a video about science one day, I could do a news political oriented video another day, or I could create and be creative and be do a short film and a short story another day, and kind of, one day be indoors, one day be outdoors. And it gave me the opportunity to have like a multi-sensory experience that was very diverse in opportunities. So for me, that was a driving force. I was like, wow, this is a really, really, there's a lot of potential with going to school for filmmaking. It doesn't mean I just do one thing forever. I can do all these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
about you, Ty?
Well, it's a lot of the same thing, My parents were like the guys with the it's like it's the stand where all the audio comes, like with the radio. Like my dad always had speakers and drums and bass and like all these type of electronic things. Like he got us a first video camera when I was 5, well, for the family. And that's when them cameras were like $3,000, you know?
Wow.
So I got to like, and he let me like, I don't know, I was very into it. Um, and going into my teens, I went for journalism and I love photography and been thankful. I went to a broadcast school when I was in middle school. So it's just, it's not only like my drive, but it's also been like a flourishment altogether. I'm like, okay, I'm just happy that I'm in this field. The only thing I would say is that it is, I still see, I don't see, better said, a lot of women in the top heads when you come to TV. When you think of like TV freelance, who's directing the Grammys, who's directing the Emmys, like those big productions. Film has had a lot of integration of women, but TV still has a lot of show. You can see it when you watch Saturday Night Live, you see the same kind of behind the scenes kind of guys and grips and stuff like that. Have you had that same experience when you do TV? Or have you done, if you have?
Oh yeah, I did grip for many years. I think I have the most experience doing grip, doing the hands-on labor and the behind-the-scenes production stuff. And I mean, it got brutal, but I first took it for the money. I was like, it's so hard to get a job as a cinematographer or director. Like, of course, we all want that, you know, and to get paid for it, other than our own little side projects. So of course, the next thing is like being, are you afraid or not to do grip, to climb some truss and hang some lights and run a bunch of data cable across an entire field and unload a truck at the loading dock. I mean, all of it. It was a lot of labor, but I thought I was just going to take a few of those gigs, but I started actually kind of love it. I love that it was active. And again, it was different. I was somewhere else every day and I was learning so much, but it was brutal. It was a lot of work. And oftentimes I was the only chick there for sure, most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely brutal. I love women who go head on for those careers.
But I'm happy to be out of that as well. I'm like, you know what? My back hurts. Okay, like my shoulders hurt, like elbows, like yeah, no, I need to get greased up and lube up the joints because you know what? I'm done with that. It was fun, but you know.
I bet.
I'm done.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
All right, all right. So you guys talk about like the camera works and then like the TV works and like all that other stuff. So you know how we guys met in like Mayfeather Technical Center and all that stuff. So I would say my next question will be from the time we met in Mayfeather to where we is now. Is there a certain project or like a career in the field that you are most proud of? And tell us, well, what was your position and how you feel that was your most proud project or work moment.
Hi, do you want to go first, or I feel like I've been taking over.
You already got it? If you have it, go ahead. I have to think.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, I mean, I'm proud of some of my own short film and a music video that I did. As Grip, of course, I was a part of many, like working with many famous people and other things, but that was just kind of, you're just the hand, you know what I mean? So it wasn't necessarily creative. So those, some of my bigger name projects were when I was Grip. I think I'm most proud of my recent collaboration with Filmgate Miami, where I got hired as director, writer, cinematographer. And those are the kind of things that I want to be granted a budget for and even compensation for myself to take home. And it's hard to get those positions, but I'm collaborating with them and I did a little video for them recently. So I think I'm actually on the way up.
You go, girl. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And what about you?
Oh, for me, I would say my proudest moments, I'm gonna say is right now, working for CNN, because I'm surprised, like I'm almost shocked, because when I got out of TV, two of my focuses were NBC or CNN. And it's like, I was like working as a bartender, because I quit my like master control job, and I was like, you know what? Let me apply. I have all the characteristics, and it called me like right away. And I was like in there within a month, and I was like, oh my God, it was made for me. Like you have sometimes so many shortcomings, but I don't know. Like sometimes the universe kind of shows you that you're made for something, and you might as well just, because I was going against it. Like after I got out of my TV master control job, I was like, I don't know if I want to do TV anymore. Like, am I gonna, do the same studio control room kind of thing? And I got into it because I like the excitement of everyone getting together, and the artists over here and the lighting guys over here, So I was like, I went for truck driving, I got my permit. So if it wasn't for them, I would be out there on the road. So it almost saved my life.
Oh my God, I remember
So,
that.
yeah, I think these are some great times for me right now.
Exciting. Yes, that's a big deal. You've had some really impressive job positions in broadcast and studio for sure.
Yes, and I can't be greedy, but I do want to like get more into the freelance. I want to get called for, the things that are happening down here through the Tyler Perry studios, So I'm putting it out there, Tyler Perry.
Do it. I believe in you.
Me too.
That'd be cool.
All right. So my next question is that you know how most people they say like, oh, director is gonna be my position choice, or producer is gonna be my choice, screenwriter is gonna be my choice, or cinematographer or my actor is gonna be my choice. So from the time that we met a bit fatter till now, was that your are you still at your original career choice, or from the time that we met till now, has it changed? Because you know how most of the times when you go in school, they're like, oh, you learn all these like different departments and all this stuff that happens. They're like, oh, I'm interested in doing that. May I have a position choice change or something like that, or maybe I could do both and like stuff like that. Because the way I'm is right now, I'm doing producing, assistant directing, I'm doing acting, I'm doing camera operator, because I learned all that stuff for like for different departments, and I know that I can learn all that stuff because when I do go into different the projects, that I know like, oh, this person, I know I can do all of that, so they can call me up for whatever position they have open. So the question is that, has your original choice position choice changed from now, or has it changed, or you just add into your list of skills and experience as far as going into the positions in the field?
Okay. Go ahead, girl.
Okay. So yeah, Big Fatter being the technical college we graduated from, for those who don't know. So since then, which I graduated 2000, was it early 2013 or late 12? I think 13.
13.
Maybe it was 12. Was it 13? Class of 13. I already forgot. Yeah, I mean, it was primarily a focus on broadcast, right? Because they had a really great opportunity. So I chose broadcast, but I quickly realized I wanted to do more videography and getting out there and everything. And in terms of have I changed my mind about my ideal role? No. I am one of the people who wanted to do the directing, the writing, the creative elements more so, and having more creative control and having like a power position. But I ended up, like discussed, I took a lot of grip jobs and PA jobs and stagehand jobs. So I took a lot of that because it was there, it was easy to get, and I learned a lot. But ultimately, the desire, yes, is still the more creative roles.
Yeah. Could I ask a question actually? Like, how did you go? Was it the jobs that you were getting that made you change from like TV to film?
No, I kind of, for me personally, kind of knew that I was going into a broadcasting class with the intention of using that knowledge toward videography. I'm not into debt and loans and all of that. And I like the hands-on learning. I didn't want to do full sale and spend a fortune and then not even get to do like, sorry, I'm bad mouthing other things. Okay,
You got a scholarship.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But I was like, and these vocational and technical programs, like on day one, I was holding a camera, I was climbing a ladder, like the first day pretty much, or the first week for sure. And that's what I wanted. And so I kind of already knew that I was going to most likely work outside of TV broadcast, even though I was going to school for broadcast.
Awesome.
I kind of intended on that. So what about you?
Oh, I forget the question in the original question. Like,
have
was
you
I
changed your mind?
Has your original position choice has changed from then till now, or did you add more positions into your resume, into your skill set?
Yeah, it definitely is the addition to a lot of things, because you come into the limelight focused as a director, or even when I knew I always wanted to do directing for TV, but for me, it's important to just expand because for me, like it's kind of like being in the restaurant business. It's great when you know your one station or area, but when you know what's you have a better idea of what's going on. And TV is kind of set up that way. You know, you start as a PA, a floor manager, and then build yourself up. So you have that experience of like no one can teach you that while you're writing the cameraman is going to do this and can't do that, you know. So or an actor should, you know, be this and that. So I think it's very important. You have to expand it, and I've been grateful that we've been smart enough to expand it, because some people get really like narrowly focused, and it's like everything or nothing. And like I don't think that's like our type of field. You know, you get to do so much. I mean, so many different people. You know, you want to be I want to be an actor, an anchor, director, everything. So
Yes.
mhm.
Yeah, I think in the world of media, it's becoming more and more possible for those of us to take the skills we have and expand them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just want to mention this is a book that I'm reading, not only for this month. Maybe I should make it like a trend, but maybe. Anyways, so this is I don't know if you mirror it, but
Who said it's a man's world?
who says it's a man's world? It's a girl's guide to corporate domination. Even though I don't need no guy, but you know, yeah.
I love that.
I love it. I like it.
The narrative.
I'm sorry.
I love that because it sounds like it's changing the narrative instead of like insisting on or like, you know, repeating the affirmation that it's a man's world and therefore maybe holding yourself back.
Yeah, little by little. It's because like I said, like TV, I can still see that it's very male dominated when it comes to those. I don't know if you saw that for yourself. Like I don't know if film has, I think, a little bit more diversity once it comes to the producers, the art, you know, there's a lot of women involvement. But when I could see TV, there's a lot of female producers. You just don't see that. I don't know, see them in the directing position. I could be wrong. Have you experienced that?
Yes, I definitely have. I remember a long time ago, I think it was, well, I don't remember it, but I remember hearing, you know, Marilyn Monroe was a famous actress, of course, and she would oftentimes inspire to change the script or even have like some opinions about the directing. And she used to say, I don't mind being in a man's world as long as I can be a woman in it. And like really use that. Yeah, and she really used that to grow and build. So it's also about changing the perspective. But I have noticed, yes, of course, there's predominantly male in the director's chair and in producing and especially editing and After Effects and like post-production.
Yeah.
And I think that's, yeah, and I also get it. I don't think it's necessarily that men are like these days anyhow trying to hold us back and like not give us those opportunities. It's more so that women are very like intuitive and tactile and like tangible, and so we don't usually feel as fulfilled sitting in front of a computer as we do being involved in like producing and being a part of the communication and like being part of a tactile experience. I think that's like more emotion based, like dealing with real people. And men get very technical, and so they're usually doing more post production. But the directing, I mean, I feel like that really could be a common women's role, and so yeah, I would like to see. I would imagine there would be more and more of that, but I typically still see men in the director's chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll fix that.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? I think women might still just be intimidated by it, you know, because it's barking a lot of orders in a way, but
I love it.
I feel like us
That's
women
the
are
first
good at
one,
that.
like barking orders me. And it's not
I know,
like
I
really.
mean,
It's not like your
wants
manager, like, hey sir, could you do this? Or you're gonna get a write-up. It's like camera 2, camera 4, camera 7, you know, like
yeah, what woman doesn't want to be in a director's chair? Okay, like trust me. So what is
out
going
that life.
on? Yeah,
I mean,
girls.
there's a lot of female directors. I mean, you have Patty Jenkins from Wonder Woman. This another female director that had won best drama at the Golden Globes I think a week ago. She was an agent director. That movie's on Hulu right now if you want to check that out. Bryce Howard, who's Ron Howard's daughter, she even directed one of the episodes for The Mandalorian on season 2 and season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always like someone's daughter or like someone who has a lot of money already, though, you know, right? Like that sounds messed up, but in a lot of cases it is. And I'm talking more about, like, in Hollywood, there's more female directors, but more so in just my experience and my everyday jobs that I've taken. All of the productions I've worked on has been predominantly men, easily predominantly male directors. Right. And I think maybe it just has to do with like how technical it can get, but there has been female directors, and even myself have like assumed she wasn't the director, you know, like I just thought she, because it's so, you see it so uncommonly, the times where there was, like the couple of times there was a female director, like I didn't even assume that she was, you know. But
yeah. And then also Regina King, who directed One Night in Miami. Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that. Okay,
I got it. Yeah, it sounds so good.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it.
Yeah, it's a biopic that's Amazon Prime. It just focuses on Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. When that time they was in Miami together. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the reason I mentioned like the diversity that we at right now, because like you see more like foreign filmmakers, women filmmakers, African American filmmakers, and others like stepping up. Because like, as you see, like every time you watch the Golden Globes or you see like the Oscars, and you see all these people like stepping up to like perfecting their crafts of what they're doing. I'll give you another example. Parasite. It won Best Picture.
Oh, I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet, so don't do any spoilers.
Yeah, but, okay. It should be still on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it should be still on Hulu. Yeah, Parasite.
Parasite, Hulu. Oh, Hulu, you gotta pay for it, right? Okay. Now I think my nephew got Hulu. Sorry.
We gotta watch that. It looks good. It has amazing reviews.
Okay. Yeah, because like that's the first time like in an Oscars history that a foreign filmmaker, that a foreign movie won Best Picture. Here we go.
Nice.
Yeah, and just imagine like if that was not going for the male side. Imagine that was a female director. Imagine that doing a foreign film and it won Best Picture. Just imagine that.
Okay, you mean imagine it because it would just be like very rare.
Yeah.
A unique thing. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, the possibility are endless. Like you might never know who could win any there. So yeah. So my next question is that is there anyone, if you had to choose, if there's anyone in the entertainment media industry that you could kind of look up to, that you know, like, oh, I know I could be that next actress in my own standards, or the next director, the next screenwriter, or the next producer to my own standards. There's like any women in the entertainment media industry that you look up to that made you want to choose the career choice? If you had to choose.
I would say Oprah the most, because she's all in my field, broadcast. What I want to do is a talk show. She's from an area in America that's, that she grew up in the hood, I guess, but not long. She did graduate. I think she went to the same area. She grew up in the same area as Michelle Obama, and just what she does, like she straight up empowers people to have such an empire. And like even on her show, sometimes it was all about building yourself and the self-humanity. Like now we manifesting all that. It's been around for years, and the first two people I could remember is Oprah and Tony Robbins talking about it. And so she was the type of person that, if you look at her career, she wasn't handed nothing. She worked hard for everything and she tried to multiply it. And that's important for me. So I look up to Oprah, even though it looks cliche, but I do.
Oh, I don't think it's cliche. Yeah, she's inspiring. She's really exquisite, and her whole story. And like you said, even with everything in her background, she still remains so positive. And I feel like if anything, people are trying to make that seem cliche, like toxic positivity or something. But I think she's a beautiful living example of, like remaining positive and sharing a positive message, even in the face of, hardships. And she's beautiful. That's a good one. Damn, I'm like, damn, how do I, yeah, that's a good one. It's weird. I'm sorry, I'm unprepared for this. And I'm definitely like equally inspired by women as I am men, but in the industry. but I mean, of course, there is that like ability to relate on a certain level. I think just in general, I'm inspired by women who can still create in the film industry in the midst of like, you know, childbearing and you know, being pregnant and raising a baby, but like still like devote themselves to their motherhood and not like abandon motherhood, but like incorporate it and still do film or whatever it is their career is. I think that's definitely inspiring and amazing. I'm probably most inspired by since I was a little girl, the comedians and SNL, the chicks on SNL, and I've always loved like, you know, their a shameless, you know, ability to look ridiculous, to sound ridiculous, and to also have the courage to kind of like equally mock different situations and, you know, make light of it and kind of make humor out of stuff. And I've always been really inspired by the silly, goofy female comedians.
Right. I totally feel you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Trico?
Oh, I have a lot of the inspirations, filmmakers. You know, when it comes to like the ones that I grew up with, watching. To the Denzel Washington, to the Eddie Murphys. You know what I'm saying? To the Jamie Foxx. You know what I'm saying? Because they perfected their crafts of what they wanted to do, whatever it's doing whether it in the acting role, whether they're in the producing role, or whether the writing role. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and I feel like, I can do all those things. So that way, when I get big to the top, I'm like, oh, this guy can do it all. It's like he's all around, and that's where I am right now. You know what I'm saying?
Good point. Achieve to be that like direct. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, dear.
Oh no, I was just saying, good point. Yeah.
Right? Like I would love. I think I don't know everybody, but I love to achieve that in someone, to be like the actor and the director. Where you're technical sometimes, but you're also in the art. You get to like change your face and your character, your clothes to be something totally like else. I think that's the ultimate goal for a show.
Yeah, I'm moving into on-screen stuff a little more and more. And I know you have a little bit, right, Ty? Haven't you?
Yeah, here and there between this show and some other shows. Oh, and I took an acting class last month, but it got weird this month with the ching ching. So to wait, I'm gonna have to jump back in on April. But yes, girl, trying. You said so. What are you doing with the camera?
Yeah, I'm getting more and more open and comfortable with that. So, and I've been sending in auditions and doing stuff. So yeah.
Go for it, girl. What kind of character would be like your ideal to play?
I mean, I think at this point it's probably obvious that the answer is I like the comedy. I love doing impressions. So yeah, I love doing impressions. I love making people laugh. But I would like to start being able to do like drama and stuff too. That'd be cool. But I mostly like doing impressions and humor.
Okay. Evil villain or hero?
Ooh, probably villain.
Yeah, I second that. What about you, Chico?
I would say whatever you know that you can master at, do it. Because if you like mess up and you can't do it, do not go for it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna be a comedian, you better make sure you can make people laugh. Because if you don't, you got
okay, so you're like, yo, Amy, wait a minute.
I'm telling you from experience.
Wait a minute, Amy, you're not funny. You know what I'm saying?
No, because
hey, what about?
Yeah, because I'm telling you from
experience.
What
about anti-hero?
Oh, anti-hero, you got to be like, like the Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do a lot of hero stuff, but at the same time, like, you ain't gonna be like Captain America type hero. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like the Wolverine. Like, you do have to do what it takes, even though you have to make some sacrifices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Deadpool. He's my favorite anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly.
The DC Marvel world, yeah.
Yeah, so
definitely growing on me.
Yeah, so that's my recommendation, because like if you're gonna make a comedy film, if your stuff ain't funny, then it ain't worth it. But if you're making people laugh, you're doing something right. And then also for the drama, you know how Denzel was like getting whooped in Glory, and he showed that little tear. If you could do that drama, you are good. And yeah, and then same thing for the action. If you're willing to like to take a bump, all that stuff, you good. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of perfecting your craft. Wherever acting you're gonna go for it.
You know
Especially
what's
like,
my worst nightmare?
yeah.
That I have to kiss someone, like a total stranger. Like, I don't know
Oh
how
my
you
God.
do it.
I'm always like, I'm watching those scenes and I'm like, oh, what if they just ate Doritos from like the crafty section back in the break room and like you're kissing their Dorito breath and like, yeah, I don't know.
Or you like totally dislike this person. You can't vibe with everybody. Like people, you could tell there's chemistry, but when if they're a different sex origin, yeah. What if they're gay and you're straight? You know, not that it should be different, but like, are you gonna feel the same? Like, I don't know what. I don't want to. Would it matter if I kissed a girl? But you know, I don't know. Like,
Hey, it's totally okay to want autonomy and preferences over who you share bodily intimacy with. That's all right.
right?
Yeah, it seems like such a vulnerable thing, but that's why actors get paid a lot for that.
Because like I said, we're in a diversity world. Like you're gonna expect to see like some LGB like scenes. Like you'll see another girls can see. You might see another man kissing because like back in the day, they still had those scenes like back in the 90s, but it wasn't that popular. It wasn't that attention to it is like it is right now. You get what I'm saying? Because like if you had those scenes like all that stuff, you'll be able to gain more audience. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like in the film world, in the TV world, it's different from it was back in the day to it is now.
Because it's a lot of like it's a lot more diversity, right, in your sexual orientation. That's crazy. Yeah, like I don't know.
Hey man, the comedy world, we've always been cross-dressing, so we're used to it. We're like way ahead of that.
Right. Right. Good.
Yeah, but like when it comes to cross-dressing, like you see like comedians like Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, like do the cross because they're comedians. Like they do it another character, like you know what I'm saying, like Jamie Foxx Wanda or like Martin Lawrence Shanae or like Eddie Murphy doing Respucia.
Which was that one? I am sorry.
Shanae, sorry.
Oh, the name. But where's that from? I don't know.
Oh, Martin, I am.
Oh yeah.
He cross-dressed. It was his cross-dressing character was Shanae.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, the comedy there's always been like the one actor playing the different characters and their different roles and a lot of cross-dressing. But yeah, so what's the next question? What we got?
Is there anything that you want to say to the upcoming like female filmmakers that want to go into the industry? What would be your condolences, or what would be your thoughts on for those who like coming up? And there's like share your experiences that you've done in the past that they might go through whatever state or at wherever they might go through, like in film school, like wherever, like condolences that you want to give them.
Girl, when you're PMSing, just warn people. Just let them know. All right. Now we went through our drama at school, right? All of us, but we still, because the pressure would be on. But no, also like I would tell girls, like, be yourself. Don't feel pressured if you are in a male-dominated industry or on a set that is male-dominated or whatever. Don't feel pressured to be like a man or to surrender any of your natural qualities if they happen to be shy or if they happen to be soft or emotional or whatever. Be yourself and apply yourself like authentically, and you're going to learn along the way whatever it is that you need to tighten up on or get better at. So just being authentic and yeah, keeping positive. I mean, I think with anything, having that positive habits and positive self-affirmations and things to keep yourself healthy and having fun becoming a filmmaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, work with other women, support other women, like we get into the workplace. Well, my experiences in corporate America, I don't like it that much because you do have a lot of people who want to, you have a lot of, what is it? A lot of soldiers and not enough. No, you have a lot of,
Oh, a lot. Oh, not enough chiefs.
right,
What
right,
was
right.
it? Yeah. I feel like whatever it was not PC. I don't remember it, but so I don't know. But it was something like that. Yeah, we have enough soldiers and not enough chiefs or something like that. Yeah.
And a lot of people want to front line and be new, and I can get that, but don't step on someone else on the way up. Keep your femininity, keep your manhood, and like your womanhood, keep your pride. Don't have an idea that you have to change yourself to be in the field you want. Be as girly as you want, and everyone stinks in there, but be who you want to be and pursue your career, because at the end of the day, when the end of your book is done, it's not that you was a compromiser, that you did your own thing and you were proud of yourself. Because sometimes, I don't know what women go through sometimes, and behind the scenes, because of the Me Too movement. There's a lot of harassment that goes along with it. Of course, be aware with that. Be definitely aware, but don't be a sabotager, because at the same time, if you're not saying that you're that, if you're that person that's gonna call out, no, be that person that's gonna call out, but be careful with your career in entertainment. Like, we have parties, we have this, we have, if you're not comfortable in that situation, it's this fast, you can tell people to get out your face. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it build because you wanted a career, and then when you look back, you felt ashamed of yourself, so keep your head up,
You made some really good points. Yeah.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for those notes. So moving on to the episode, let's get into some mainstream updated news. So, and you know how the movie game is changing because of the COVID situation. So we have 3 major movies that have shipped their release schedule. So first off, we have Quiet Place 2 that was supposed to come out in September this year, but it got moved up to May. Thank God, because I love the first one, so I can't wait to see the second one. Fast and Furious 9 got moved to June 25th, and the problem with that is that it's going head to head with Venom 2, Let Them Be Carnage. So I don't know what's gonna happen if Venom's gonna keep that same date, because head to head competition, Fast and Furious is gonna win all the way. That's all I'm saying. And then the last one, the Minions 2 was supposed to come out this year, got to move another year again, going to release in July 2022. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on those movies with ship dates? On those ship dates?
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to any of those movies?
Yeah.
Me? No. I'm not familiar with some of them, and no, not quite. Not any of the ones mentioned. I'm not too familiar with that. I don't think I've seen the originals of any of those, or I didn't even hear of one of those.
Well, I saw
the first one
last year.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, the first one was Quiet Place 2. The second was Fast and Furious 9, and the other one was the Minions 2. The Minions.
9 and 2. Okay, I haven't seen part 1 of any of those. Okay,
Shut up.
Like part 9, no. So I have no idea.
Oh, Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I may have saw parts of the first one, and it was so like early millennia and like cool. Like I like fast cars, and I like that one chick actress who's like really hard and she's really muscular.
Yeah.
Yes, her dude. She's hot. She's.
You know what? Now I finally see how Star Wars people feel, because I'm like, never.
That's how you are with Fast and Furious. Yeah, it's weird. Oh, that happens to me all the time because I love doing film, or I love broadcast, or I love telling stories. Like people just assume that I have this like plethora of like favorite directors and movies that I can just spout out, and like that's not the case. I think just like with some brilliant musicians, they haven't even heard of like all of these different genres of music. Like I don't necessarily always watch tons of movies doing different things in my time, but I like movie making, but you haven't seen those. But I am a Star Wars nerd, so it's funny you said that.
Girl, yeah, when I know there's a couple of things that I haven't seen and people are like, what? And they're like, it's so basic. And I'm like, you know, but I love Fast and the
And then
Furious.
you're like, but I'm not basic. So
Right. Like they'll be like, girl, what is like? And then I was like, but, oh, I don't know. I felt that when you said about the fact, because I don't know. You would think that's what it's true what you said. Some people think that you have like a bunch of exactly a library of things like you saw, but not everybody watches the same films. Obviously, look at distribution, you know? The people that are like in Florida don't watch the same movies in Washington. Like when I've been to like New York, like being grown up in New York, when I came down to Florida, do you remember this song growing up or this movie growing up? And they were like, not really, you know, and they'll give me kind of like a similar movie, but you know, just different. So it's like,
wow. I
yeah.
never considered that. That's interesting.
I get that a lot because and even here in Atlanta, like they'll from music to film, they'll have that Atlanta sound or New York sound or Miami sound.
Yeah.
So you're not always hearing like the, you know, everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Star Wars, Amy, because I think in the past episode I did a review from Disney Adventures Day, and they got all the Star Wars from Lucasfilms. They kind of list out all the upcoming projects that's coming up from Lucasfilm, what is Star Wars and everything. So our next Star Wars project is gonna be it's gonna be an original series. It's called The Bad Batch.
Wow.
So yeah. It's a continuation from the Clone Wars. If you guys ain't never seen the Clone Wars, you guys should check it out on Disney Plus. So yeah, it's gonna be released on Star Wars Day, May 4th.
May the 4th be with you. Yeah, I'm excited. I like Clone Wars, so I'm cool with it.
Okay, guys, next question.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Yeah, so moving on to the next topic. So we still, luckily from Universal, they said we are gonna get Halloween Horror Nights this year again. So and they released the first movie major house that's gonna happen, and the first one announcement is gonna be Beetlejuice.
Cool.
Beetlejuice. Yikes, don't say it 3 more times. He said it twice, trying to trick us like he's about to listen.
Right?
No, when you say his name, you gotta be like fast. Say it. You gotta be fast.
Okay, is it still going to be the same guy, Keaton, or who was it that played Beetlejuice? What's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, is it still going to be him?
Yeah, so like the way it works is like they're gonna have a Universal where you go to Halloween Horror Nights, so like you go to see a lot of IP like houses that's gonna happen like from other movie and TV's projects. So like Beetlejuice is like the first IP that's been announced.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So like expected when you go to see the house, you're gonna see like everything that you saw like in the movie.
Oh no.
Okay, we the way she said oh no is like I don't know if I should tell this story, but you know what? I'm going to. So
you know what? Have you been to Universal? That's a dumb question.
Well, I haven't been since I was a kid. Probably the last time I was like 17, so it's been a long time. Any updates I'm unfamiliar with?
Yeah, the last Horror Nights I went to was in 2017, and that's when I was living in Orlando. The last Halloween Horror Nights I went to, but I still go to Universal like every other time. You know what I'm saying? Because like Halloween Horror Nights is that one time of the year, like during the month of September to November, they have all this stuff. You know, like you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna take time because the story because he literally got scared butt off everything, going on the roller coaster and everything.
Oh my God. Okay, listen. That was different. I was really ready, like so I don't know if you know the story of Trico taking me to like House of Horror. And so we plan to meet up and stuff. And I never been to the House of Horror, the one at the Miami-Dade Fairgrounds. And I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a haunted house. So I'm all in. We dress up everything. I'm looking around and we go through the house and there's like a huge line outside. So I'm like expecting a lot of people. I'm like, oh, we must have came early. Bueno, we go through the haunted house like this. And then Chico's like, so you ready to ride some rides? I'm like, no Ferris wheel, no Gravitron. Oh no, they had the Ferris wheel. No Gravitron, nothing of the basic on the ground stuff. So I literally lost my voice the next day.
What is basic on the ground? Like a freaking maze? Like what?
What is I would have stayed at the little line thing outside the haunted house. I would have had a blast there. Go
waiting in the line. Yeah, waiting in the little line on the way to the haunted house. That was fun.
Let's do it again. I was like, come on, let's go again. I was like, okay.
Get in line again.
Girl. And Trico likes the scary rides, the really scary rides, the ones that put you whirl you around. And
oh, that's not even just scary. That's disorienting and nauseating. I'm just like, you know what? My brain just doesn't want to feel like it's in a car accident right now. Like it's just tumbling around in a car on the freeway. I don't know. I'm good.
I'm telling you, I did one roller coaster before that. All I do is bumper. I'm down for fairgrounds and stuff with like bumper cars. Oh, the area where you can win teddy bears and stuff. That's my place.
I get you. Fairgrounds. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Bumper cars.
Do you do much roller coasters and like thrill seeking stuff?
No.
Okay.
No. Don't need extra adrenaline or thrill. It just, to me, it's more like, I think people who want to do a lot of thrill seeking things also just want to like test their fate. And I'm just like, no, I'm good on that. I don't want to do that. No desire.
But sometimes it goes too far, you know, and you're just like, and it's usually the guys that say, I've survived this, I've survived that. You're like, you're still going.
Yeah, I got nothing to prove, okay? Like, oh yeah, I passed all these several dead bodies on Mount Everest and I survived. I'm like, cool. How much did that cost you?
Like, you go, baby.
We're roasting people now.
Right?
And going on to our next topic. So we still on the Universal. So I don't know if you guys heard the announcement, but March 18th is where Universal Studios Japan is gonna open up Super Nintendo World. But like the fans are wondering when we gonna get it here in Orlando. Well, they said the earliest time that we can get Super Nintendo World in Universal Orlando is by early 2025.
Okay, I mean,
do we even want it
anymore? Damn, that is a long time. That's a long time. Yeah, what's up with that? Huh?
Because like during the construction, the original plans was for 2023, but things are like with the COVID situation, there's been some delays. You know, so they're back at work. They're back with the construction. So they say it can be earliest as 2025, but it only depends on how the construction work. If they can be able to finish in time, then it may change. The release date may change. But they say but they said the earliest by 2025. But like again, it could change. It may open early.
Cool.
So like in the Super Nintendo world, expect to see Mario Kart. You might see a Donkey Kong roller coaster ride. You might see Link on that stuff. You might see a section where it says like Pokemon Go, do the Pokemon Go challenge and everything.
That's awesome. I wonder what they would do with Zelda. Good point. I wonder if like the fairgrounds, like Thais was mentioning, would be like Zelda World, almost like the Renaissance Festival, and you have to go on this hunt and this like scavenger quest or whatever, rather than there being like a Zelda ride. That'd be interesting.
Yes, girl. You mentioned the Renaissance Fair. You're an avid goer. You're an avid actor there, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Would you mind doing a performance for us?
Doing a performance? Okay. You put me on the spot.
You're not even ready for this yet.
I don't know. I just like to haggle with people when I'm there too. Like, do you know who my father is? You're trying to charge me 15 shekels for this crown.
Okay.
I'm not paying for this crown, and I'm not going to the tea party with the queen. I'm going to the beer garden. Down with the queen.
You wench.
You wench. Or, you know, I could be like a freaking like Irish pirate the next day.
Okay.
You know, whatever, just every different things.
Yeah, I think that's such a unique part of South Florida. I went there twice when I was little, and it was like, I don't know, it's everything to me because you just the hay, it's so realistic. Well, I guess for a kid too, you know, you have the actors and you're part of it. Like there's little challenges that you do when the adults like really interact with you. I remember they were like, they'll just take a kid and it's like, if you could recite a poem from, you know, Shakespeare, and we'll give you this. And it was really cute.
It's very interactive and immersive. It's like you're supposed to be, it's not just consumerism and like thrill-seeking rides or something. The point is feeling like you traveled in time and you're in this era, but it also isn't just Renaissance, it's medieval, and then it's also just sci-fi and like different themes of magic and mysticism in general. And like you said, yeah, it's very immersive and meant to make you feel like you're a part of it, and they make you kind of interact, and that's what I love about it. It's so great.
And if they have it at Vizcaya, it's really on point.
I haven't done that one. I'll check it out.
Cool.
All right. Moving on from Universal to Disney. So first of all, who's seen Ratatouille?
I think so.
Nope.
The one he makes the soup, right?
Yeah, the rat that does the cooking.
Right. And
the rat that does the cooking. I haven't seen it.
So we are officially getting a Ratatouille adventure ride at Disney World at Epcot. It's going to be open on October 1st. That's going to be a couple of weeks before the 50th anniversary for Walt Disney World entirely. Me and Ty did an episode discussing about that. So that's going to run about 2 years. So yeah, Remy's, it's going to be called Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It's going to open at Epcot near the French Pavilion. And not only are we getting the ride itself, but they're also going to make a restaurant like a couple of feet by, which is going to be like a quick service and a table dining experience restaurant. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting because Ratatouille was one of my favorites. And I'm like, oh, I need a rat to do some cooking around the house. If I can get one. Even though my mom's gonna be pissed, I'm like, no, get the rat out of here. But I'm like, Mom, this rat can cook. If you're not gonna believe these stuff, you know what I'm saying? So if you have not seen it, Ratatouille's ride, it was originally open in Disneyland Paris. So it was kind of like a slow duty about like adventure ride. So yeah, so like every ride they do like outside of the US, it always comes to like to the US or like in Florida like in a couple of years. So like it's very interesting. I'm glad they finally made that, they bring that ride to the French Pavilion, which it was very well deserved. So that way we can get a ride. Not only when you go to Epcot, you're always there for like to taste the foods and all that stuff, but finally we can be able to ride that signal to France. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. Like, any thoughts on that? Any thoughts?
I guess as long as I could get his cooking at the end of the ride, I'll be good, man. Like he had some stuff. Like he was like, I don't know. He was, what was it? He was in love with this cookbook that he always had, and he like learned every recipe. And then the chef who wrote the book dies or something. Or no. What happens is that he ends up like scrounging through restaurants to live somewhere because where he lived, it got bombed or something, and that's where his brother was. So he goes to live at the restaurant of the cook that he likes so much from the cookbook. And then it gets like off after that, but then I think there's like a janitor, and no, he's not a janitor. It's like the lowest level of cooking staff.
Yeah, he was a cook, but he didn't really have like cooking experience. And then like the Ratatouille was there to like to help him cook and everything.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
just never honestly had an interest in this movie at all because the idea of a rat making my food, I mean, rats are the last thing you want in the kitchen. Every time you've ever heard of a rat in the kitchen, it was the least likely scenario that you wanted to be a part of. And then all of a sudden there's this movie, yeah, it's a rat in the kitchen at the restaurant you're eating at. And it's literally all in your food. And I never got the concept. And so I never quite was that inspired or motivated to see this movie. But hey, all right. I like the juxtaposition.
Okay, I'm not trying to talk ish, but if you don't like ratatouille, don't go to Boca either.
Oh, rat's mouth.
I don't know what it is. I worked at 2 restaurants there, and like, you know, Boca Raton is mouth of the rat, and there's like a lot of rats in Boca Raton. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That's why, I guess that's why they call it that. All right.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know what it was from, but yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, girl. Literally, like I was taking an order as a server at Romano's Macaroni Grill, and a rat fell from the ceiling onto the table and it ran away. But the guys are so hungry. They're like, so did you get that? Like, okay. But his whole dinner was
Yeah.
Did you guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Trico.
Yeah. Our next one, let's just give us our moment of silence to Pepe Le Pew from the Looney Tunes, who's now the latest victim to cancel culture, which is a.
Okay, what is that story? Please explain.
Okay, so like y'all heard what happened to Dumbo, Peter Pan, Dr. Seuss, who got the latest victim to cancel culture and everything.
What's wrong with Peter Pan and Dr. Seuss?
I don't know. Cancel culture today is like.
Listen, didn't they cancel side parts?
Yeah, I think they did. I don't know. Like this is so it's so ridiculous. So like to all my viewers out there, like in case you don't know who Pepe Le Pew is, like he's one of the Looney Tunes characters. So like in this cartoon, so like he tried to win the heart of love of a cat who was mistaken of being a skunk after she had like wet paint like spread all over her back.
All right.
Mistaken of being a skunk and everything. So the reason cancel culture is happening to Pepe Le Pew because like it was just like abusive, not abusive, but like how you say the word, like
chauvinist or misogynist.
Yeah, I'm like
the machismo.
I'm like, what's wrong with that? I'm like, I mean, there was no problem back then, and now it is now. Like, just imagine even there's a rumor that Miss Piggy from the Members might get canceled.
Miss Piggy from the Muppets?
Yeah, from the Muppets.
For being abusive towards Kermit?
Yeah. Right? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right?
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, without getting too political, I know you guys know that I do, if I promise I won't.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is like, yes, sometimes we do need to reconstruct what children are watching as we evolve as people, because there is a lot of that in a lot of children's shows, whether it's like a hidden message or a subconscious message. But it is weird that it's kind of selective, you know, like if we're going to do that, what about this scene in this movie and this secret imagery in The Little Mermaid or this and this? Like, I mean, it's really inundated. And so at the same time, I agree with you, Trico, that cancel culture in many ways has been very problematic and damaging to people under pretenses that are unfair. I also, on the other hand, want to say that, like, I do agree, especially with children's shows, I do agree with modifying some of that. But I mean, in general, cancel culture has been about holding people to impossible standards. And that's, of course, we need to, you know, be careful about that and not, you know, take it too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, you can like rewrite the character like that it might be offensive to us, like, or those who grew up and like I wouldn't mind, like if you just rewrite the character like I don't mind, but like when you actually like cancel them and like they're gone, I'm like, come on.
It's a cartoon character. I don't know, it's probably I'm the least concerned about these particular examples that you happen to be using, in my opinion, since you asked. But yes, but there are more profound, problematic examples of cancer culture. But I will say Pepe Le Pew, I mean, maybe that's not what we, I mean, I guess the idea is that kids are laughing at it, not that they're applauding his behavior. They're laughing at it and like recognizing that he's ridiculous. But
I totally agree with you. Like, we were watching this when we were 5 and knew he was like kind of a misogynist. And that's why she didn't want him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, she didn't want him. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, girl, get away.
Right. Like, you like, how do you know as a child, if a child can identify that, look, he's a total douche, and she doesn't want him and he's all, I guess, I thought maybe the whole thing is because he's acting French or something, but I guess they're okay with that.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. Okay, maybe they were saying it was like xenophobic against French, or I don't know. I didn't see that part, but I mean, we have to draw the line somewhere sometimes, but also it's getting too far because you can end up doing that with everything. Where do we? Yeah, I mean, so I feel like that's a whole podcast in itself, though. Right now, like, just cancel culture,
Right.
I mean, like, when you watch the cartoons, you'll be like, and I can think what the cat is thinking. I'm like, no, I'm not a skunk. I'm a cat. I'm not a skunk.
Yeah, like, in a way, you stink. Like, you actually stink. Like, everything about you smells. But yeah,
too much. Too.
Oh my God. Now, who could be next? Johnny Bravo? Who's next?
Right?
Oh,
if you're gonna do Pepe Le Pew, you gotta do Johnny Bravo because he was the captain of all douche characters.
Yeah, the irony, it's just weird in general. Let's cancel this cartoon character, but then like certain politicians get certain privileges. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if we're gonna cancel, let's get real. Like, let's cancel the real people. So it all is like the whole thing. Like, we could do it, like I said, a whole podcast on that alone.
Exactly. If we're gonna cancel, let's get into real shit. Like, why isn't Trump in jail? Like, why is this going on? Like, let's really get down to it and put people where they're supposed to be. Not like, oh, we're not gonna watch it because, like, listen, I wish I could expose kids to everything. Like, I don't want to expose them to everything, but that's why you have parental controls. Like, do you in your own house? That's the only thing I do understand. Like, that I have grown to kind of learn with the recent Republican administration is that the Democrats can be a little far leftist to the point that it's like you're controlling too much, and this might not be a Democratic issue, but yes, that whole like systematic. What I get from Republicans is that you can't have systematic universal code of you can't do this and that because then exactly you're matching like, oh, if this guy's not doing this, it's too much for me. I'm glad I was a millennial and I don't know, understand the difference. I don't know. So
I mean, I feel like Trico is gonna have to edit this whole part out. I have no idea. But yeah, no, it reminds me, honestly, the Pepe Le Pew behavior reminds me even so much of like that compilation video of like Biden like touching all those people like randomly, and all of their expressions and all of their body language is like this and like awkward. I'm like, that is Pepe Le Pew. Like, that's Pepe Le Pew. And now they're trying to take it out on this cartoon, but we know what you're really upset about.
I mean,
but
if you scroll down Facebook, you will see the memes. I mean, you'll see it.
Oh yeah, meme culture is fun. Meme culture.
It is so fun.
It is fun. I don't know if we should edit all this out or not. But
hey, no worries.
People didn't sign up for this.
This is uncensored, uncut. We don't even matter. This is uncensored.
I know.
Yeah.
Wild
not even a French name. Like,
Rico, are you a millennial or are you Gen X? I mean Gen Z. Are you Gen Z or millennial?
I mean, what do you think?
I think you're millennial, right? Like right on the cusp there. I don't remember.
I mean, like I say, I'm all around. Like I'm willing to learn other stuff, or like learn other cultures, like learn other stuff. But like, I'm not gonna like take away like from where I'm at, where the different beliefs. Like I can understand where you come from, like what is your like. I can understand that. I'm not gonna be very judgmental.
Okay, you're basically saying like I prefer not to be labeled or identified as a gender. You're like, I mean a generation. You're like, I'm generation binary. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's cool. I never thought of that. I'm gonna put that in one of my comedy skits.
Exactly. So
Generation binary. Okay.
I'm sorry, these memes are going hard. Memes are everything when it's like hot and popping and trending. You're like, oh, that was good. People be killing these memes.
Oh yeah.
I can't find any English ones for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. What's up with the end, Chica? What we gonna do?
All right. So moving on. So this Sunday is the Grammys. So yeah, this year was a celebration for everything in music. So it's gonna be in LA. I'm surprised they're gonna be doing this in LA because like most galleries are like locked down. The based on from the LA governors and the California governor said like no galleries and stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot of virtual. It's gonna be a virtual thing. So like not many people are going to be like in attendance. They're going to be from their homes, like doing Zoom things, like showing all the nominees and like who getting awards and stuff. But I'm not going to go through all the nominees, the nominee list, because that is too much. So I'm just going to say like who has the most nominees and all the other stuff. So you want to guess who got 6 nominees? You want to guess?
No, who?
Beyonce.
Okay.
No,
what? I don't know, but okay.
No surprise there.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually,
Alexa, what time is it?
Well, actually, 9. Yeah, Beyonce got 9. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Beyonce.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, she just did the Lion King soundtrack, so yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, why did she do?
Is it related to that? I don't know. Yeah. What did she do recently for 9 Emmys? Something I don't know about.
You know, this girl be all around the world. You know, she be doing a lot of things, you know.
Yeah, she does a lot of behind the scenes, you know? Yeah. Trying to get that retirement set up right.
Yeah. So Taylor Swift got 6 nominations.
For what?
Yeah. Who else?
She just released an album, I think in 2020, but I mean, and it's supposed to be like she wrote her own songs and she played the instruments and just like to me and to a lot of us, that's not really like a unique scenario, but I think for a pop star and a Disney person, it is.
I don't think so at all. No, if she's still a singer, period. Who isn't a singer songwriter? I know what I'm saying. Like they're great. Alicia Keys is a singer songwriter and performer with her piano.
Right. Yeah.
Side, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, side, I guess. She released an album and it's got a lot of people are really into it. I know that, but that's all I know.
Really?
Yeah. Justin Bieber, Billie Eilish, Megan Thee Stallion got 4 nominations. You
know what? There's something about Megan that I learned to appreciate. Like she's such a businesswoman and she really wants to like establish herself as that more than anything. And looking back at her background, her music to me it's poppy and it's not it's not Alicia Keys music, which I love. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I hope she.
Who is Megan? Is that the girl with the black hair on one side and the white on the other?
No, the girl from WAP, the one who did WAP with Cardi B.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, she raps. She's good at rapping. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of hit songs, so you can't, you know.
And then freaking Chloe and Hattie. One of them is gonna be the new Ariel in the new Little Mermaid movie. One of them is gonna be there. Drake, her, Jay-Z, and Post Malone got 3 nominations. Post Malone got 3 nominations.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't really know about. I'm not a really big fan of Post Malone, but I'm not gonna get into that.
He has a very unique voice. My thing is, my song of the year would be Young Blues. Your Mind Still. Playing it would be very difficult now, but that would be my song for the year. Your Mind Still. I have to say, I'm gonna send it to y'all, okay? I'm not gonna sing it. But yeah, what would be your song of the year?
Me? In terms of pop and like what's on the radio? And
anything.
Okay, because if it's anything like all the artists you guys mentioned, I don't really listen to. I don't really listen to pop and stuff. For radio, it's Positions by Ariana Grande. Switching up the positions for you. It's like such a weird vocal thing that she does, and I love that. You know, I'm a musician, so. But right now, I got the way, like, switching up the to know you, and the way it goes up and down, I think is very
Yeah.
cool. And it's just like a real feisty, like nasty song, and she just went in there. But I am also like, I would say like my anthem, even though it didn't necessarily come out recently, I really got into that discography, was Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges, you know him? He did, I think his famous song is River. Take me to your river, I wanna know. I think he's from Texas. He's kind of got like Sam Cooke vibes.
Love
So
it.
good. I'm like in that discography right now.
Okay. Trico, what's your song of the year?
If I had to choose, it had to be between Savage, Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, and Rockstar, the baby and Roddy Ricch.
Savage was good. Because she did the remix with, yeah, Savage was good. Savage. Nasty.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've still even heard the whole thing of that yet. I just heard the Carol Baskin, killed it, cousin, smashed it, whatever. I need to hear the original like thoroughly.
That one will get. I don't know what it is, but I sing the Carol Baskin song too. Carol Baskin. Killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get in it.
So
Okay.
yeah, so with the Grammys and with that alone, and also the upcoming Emmys will not only air on CBS, and for those who don't have cables or like cutting the cords and be streaming, it'll also be available on Paramount Plus, which originally was CBS All Access, but they kind of rebranded and updated their streaming services and go to Paramount Plus.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
That's what's up.
So yeah, and then I got to check out Paramount Plus and everything. So it's kind of like the same as the CBS Access, but they kind of like updated new stuff, or like said everything from CBS, BT, Comedy Central, MTV, Nickelodeon, and the Samsonian channel. And the Samsonian channel.
So is there a certain network you're hooked on right now?
I would have to say Nickelodeon because they got everything. Everything.
That Ren and Stimpy though, I'm not gonna lie. Someone said it the other day, and like my parents didn't like it. Like my parents would always go through and be like, "Oh, you're watching that weird cartoon," and I never got it. But is it really like a child cartoon?
Oh gosh, no! I couldn't stand that cartoon.
Oh, you couldn't either.
No, yeah, no. There was, I think it was one of my cousins or one of my brothers who liked it. Like, this is so disgusting and unnerving, and I'm uncomfortable. And I just felt like my brain cells were dying. I was getting dumber every time I watched it.
Out of all, like, I guess watch a lot of stupid stuff, but Ren and Stimpy, it made you feel that way, like weird. And...
It was a lot of the stuff from the 90s was like that, because the 90s are like the 80s hungover.
Yeah.
And like the 80s is like still everyone is cracked out from the 70s from all those drugs. And then you've got 90s hungover, which is the 80s hungover, the 70s. Like now we're all real depressed, right? I feel like the 90s was depressed as fuck. And like us millennials growing up in the 90s watching all that crap that came out, just oof. Yeah, I don't know. It's heavy. It was heavy times.
Yes, it was.
I mean, the streaming service, it's definitely worth it because like you have a lot of blockbusters stuff that's gonna happen, and plus, all the upcoming movies like I mentioned, Quiet Place 2, and the next Mission Impossible 7, like right after like 45 days right after their release date, it's gonna be streamed on Paramount Plus as well, because like Universal has that deal. Like I think it was 30 days after their release date movies. Then after that 30-day theater window, it goes to video on demand. And same thing what Warner Brothers is doing with HBO Max. They're literally like opening in theaters and HBO Max at the same time. But if you watch it on HBO Max, it's only going to be there for 31 days. After 31 days, it's gone from HBO Max, and you're going to have to try to watch it in theaters. So they kind of work up of like making people, because some people are not comfortable yet going to the movie theaters. You know what I'm saying? So like, where there's a way that people can watch this movie at the comfort of their home. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is a smart thing from Paramount Plus to do. That was a good thing. Like I mentioned, they have a lot of family content. They have a lot of things from Nickelodeon. But as far as the other brands, they kind of missing some sort of stuff, but they just starting. So give it about a couple months. They're going to be adding more stuff on there. A lot of shows you watch. Like, luckily, they do have Celebrity Deathmatch on MTV. They have cribs, but they're missing Pimp My Ride. Where's that at? Put that on there right now. Like and then BT. Where's Martin? Where's the freaking Def Comedy Jam? Put that on there right now. You know what I'm saying? Put that freaking on there. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be on there soon. I'm not gonna force them to do it right now. Like, take your time. You know what I'm saying? But like, they're still missing some sort of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But of course, like, it's $5 if you're not worried about with the commercial ads. It's $5 with commercial ads, and then $10 like without the commercials and everything. So you have like a tier like what you want to buy from. And then yeah. The only thing I'm against, they don't have a watch list option, because you always have to try to find that certain show, movie. It's so stressful to try to find. That's a really stressful. They don't have a 4K or like an offline download that you could buy, that you could download. Let's say like you're not in a Wi-Fi area and you want to try to download this like when you're not in the area, which is kind of sucks and all that stuff. But other than that, it has this potential of being a good streaming service. So I'm not even going front on that. So I got mine for $5. I don't care about the ads. I just want to watch some good old, like I can watch SpongeBob in the middle of the day on a Saturday morning. I don't care.
Okay.
So that's our news for today. Let's just say, Amy, thank you for being a part of our episode for today. We are looking forward to have you on our next episode and in the future moments.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I love it.
So before we wrap up, is there any social media or like any other website that you want to tell the audience that they can follow your work or anything?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Amy __tree, AMYTREE. And from there, I'll have a link tree listed with some stuff.
All right, and then you can follow her. The link is going to be in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube, and of course, if you are listening towards Anchor or through Spotify or Google Podcasts, wherever audio platforms that you're listening on. And also, Ty, thank you so much for being our lovely co-host again.
I'll be back in 2 weeks, y'all.
All right, and that's our news. That's our topic for today. Let us know in the comment section what were your thoughts on all the topics that we discussed today. And other than that, she is Amy, she is Ty, and I'm Trico, and we're signing off. The two fingers, you already know.